Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious apple cream cheese bundt cake from scratch. Now, if you're looking for a great fall cake recipe, look no further. I would call this a pound cake, but it doesn't have a pound of butter, a pound of sugar, a pound of eggs, and a pound of flour. But it has over a pound of fresh apples, which is going to play a role in the topping, and the apples are also baked into the cake batter as well. And it also has close to 1 pound of cream cheese in it as well. Now, once the cake is baked, we drizzle it with a butter vanilla almond cream cheese spice glaze that you're gonna love. This recipe calls for about 15 to 17 servings, depending on how you slice it. It's a great fall cake. It's absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your apple cream cheese pound cake. Let's get started with our ingredients. You'll need some all-purpose flour or cake flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, unsalted butter at room temperature, 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese at room temperature, heavy whipping cream at room temperature, large eggs at room temperature, 5 small to medium-sized Granny Smith apples, vanilla extract, butter extract, cinnamon, allspice, and some confectioner sugar. And to bake your apple cream cheese bundt cake, you'll need some Baker's Joy nonstick baking spray and a Nordic Ware Anniversary Bundt pan. Now this is a 15 cup in capacity Bundt pan. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. So we're going to get started with our apple filling and topping. So here I have 1 Granny Smith apple, and I have a fruit peeler right here, and I'm going to just go ahead and just peel the apple. Now you want to peel all 5 apples. Alright, here we have an apple core, and I'm going to just take the center circle here and I'm just going to align it with the core of the apple. Do it the best way you can, and from there you're just going to apply pressure and press down, and from there the slices come out. In the core, you can discard that. Now you're going to take each apple slice and you're just going to slice it thin, just like that, just as you see here. And from there, you're going to take your apple slices and you're going to place them into this medium-sized bowl. Alright, next I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Make sure you stir this really good until the cinnamon and the spices are coating all of the apples. Alright, that looks good. Now we're going to set this on the side while we prepare our dry and wet ingredients. And once we make the cake batter and everything, we'll add this into the bundt pan and into the cake batter. Alright, let's get started with our dry ingredients. So in this medium-sized bowl, the mesh strainer, I'm going to add 2 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour or cake flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to go ahead and sift all my ingredients into this medium-sized bowl. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Alright, let's get started with our wet ingredients. So in a separate medium-sized bowl, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream at room temperature. Now if you want to use whole milk, same thing, 1/3 cup of whole milk at room temperature if you want it. Use whole milk. And to that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of butter extract, and 12 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. So basically that's 1 8-ounce pack of cream cheese at room temperature, and the second one, you're only going to use half. And I'm going to just add that in there. Now I'm going to take my spoon and just carefully give this a quick stir. You got to make sure that you stir this really good. The more you stir it, it'll start to come together, as you see here. And that is basically it. Alright, let's get started with the preparation of our cake batter. So in our stand mixer bowl fitted with the paddle attachment, I'm going to add 2 sticks of unsalted butter, softened and at room temperature, right on in there. And to that, I'm going to add 2 1/3 cups of sugar. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my mixer on a medium-low speed just to get that butter and sugar incorporated. Then I'm going to turn my mixer up to the highest setting, and I'm going to mix this on high speed for 6 minutes. Now at some point during those 6 minutes, you're going to go ahead and stop your mixer. And y'all know this is the regular procedure here. And you're going to scrape down the sides of your bowl. And you're going to continue to mix that in. All right. Scrape down the sides of your bowl. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my mixer on a medium speed, and I'm going to add 4 large eggs in at room temperature, one at a time. All right, scrape down the sides of your bowl. Now I'm going to alternate the all-purpose flour or cake flour mixture and the cream cheese mixture into the batter. Now we're only adding the dry and the wet ingredients into the batter 3 separate times. We're not doing any measurements or anything like that. I'm going to add the first amount of the all-purpose or cake flour mixture and the first amount of the cream cheese mixture. And make sure you get a spatula to get that all in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix this on a medium-low speed for about 15 to 20 seconds or until combined. All right. Scrape down the sides of your bowl. Add the second amount of the all-purpose or cake flour mixture and the second amount of the cream cheese mixture. And again, I'm going to mix this on a medium-low speed for about 15 to 20 seconds or until combined. All right. Scrape down the sides of your bowl. Add the third and final amount of the all-purpose or cake flour mixture and the third and final amount of the cream cheese mixture. And again, I'm going to mix this on a medium-low speed for about 15 to 20 seconds or until combined. All right. Scrape down the sides of your bowl, and our cream cheese cake batter is now ready. Now you're going to go ahead and spray your Bundt pan with the Baker's Joy non-stick baking spray. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 325 degrees. Alright, now for the first part of the decoration for our apple topping, here I have 10 ounces in weight of apple slices. And I'm going to just add that into the Bundt pan as evenly as possible. Now it does look like a lot, but once the cake is baked, it won't be much. The apples are cooked down and it won't be much at all. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and pour half of the cake batter on top of the apples. Just use your judgment skills to determine how much to add and go from there. Alright, here I have another 10 ounces of apple slices, and I'm just going to carefully add that on top of the batter as evenly as possible. And from there, I'm going to just slightly sprinkle a little cinnamon on top, just because I can. And I'm going to just sprinkle a little tiny bit of allspice as well, just a little bit. Alright, and now we're going to add the second half of the batter on top. Try to cover the apples as much as possible. Just put a huge dollop per section. Just try to fill it in as much as possible. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take a spoon and I'm just going to try to do a little swirl pattern into the batter, just as you see here. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just swirl that around into the batter as best as you can. Don't try to rush it or anything like that. And from there, just spread the cake batter around your Bundt pan as evenly as possible. Now, to make the batter more even, shake your pan slightly. And also tap the bottom of your Bundt pan. Now it is ready to be baked. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this into a preheated 325-degree oven on the bottom rack. And I'm going to bake this for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and set my timer. And once the hour is up, I'll come back and set it again. Alright, time is up. Alright, it's been about 1 hour and 15 minutes now for our cake. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the cake out of the oven. Now a toothpick inserted into the cake should come out clean. Now you're going to let the cake cool for about 4 to 5 hours before you remove it out of the pan. Don't remove the cake out of the pan after 30 minutes to an hour. You want to make sure the cake is cool because if you take the cake out of the pan too early, it's going to fall apart. That's why you have to let it cool so that way the cake can settle and set. Alright? Patience is key when it comes to baking. Alright, my cake has cooled completely, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it onto this cooling rack here. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Turned out beautiful. Alright, let's get started with making our cream cheese spice icing. So in this medium-sized bowl, I'm going to add 1 1/2 cups of confectioner sugar, 2 ounces, that's about 1/4 cup of cream cheese that has been softened and at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of warm heavy whipping cream or warm whole milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a 1/2 teaspoon of butter extract. I'm also sneak in about 1/8 of a teaspoon of almond extract, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of allspice, and a light sprinkle of salt. That's going to bring out all the flavors. Now I'm going to take my whisk and I'm just going to stir this until it's creamy and smooth with no visible lumps. That looks about right. Now I'm going to go ahead and just pour the icing into this little squeeze bottle here. If you have one of these, that'll be great. Alright, now I'm going to take the cake and I'm going to place it onto this 11 by 17 inch baking pan. And from there I'm going to just take the icing and I'm going to drizzle it right on top of the cake. I like the look of the outside of the cake, so I don't want to completely cover it with the icing. Now you're going to let the icing set for about 10 to 15 minutes, and after that it's ready to be served. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and cut you a slice. Now y'all, look at how beautiful and moist that looks. Look at that. You have the apples inside the cake, then you have the apples on top, and you have that cinnamon cream cheese icing right on top. Looks good. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade apple cream cheese pound cake made by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. Now I have an official website for all of my recipes, including for this delicious apple cream cheese pound cake recipe. You can go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. I mean, y'all, look at that. You can see all the apples in there. Look at that. I don't know where to start. Oh, yeah. Woo! Y'all, this cake is absolutely delicious. Oh my goodness. The cake is a little bit on the dense side. Not to where it's overly saturated, but it literally melts in your mouth. I mean, the apples. The apples is the main thing. It literally melts in your mouth. You can taste the apples and those spices that we've added. The cake is also soft and moist. And then you have the cream cheese, which the cake, the overall cake has a mild cream cheese flavor. And then you got that icing. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm telling y'all, try the recipe. It's on point. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.